Okay. So I haven't seen what people in the comments were saying. I looked on your Facebook page. I couldn't find anything. Was it mostly like on TikTok?
On both. It is, hang on just a second. I'm answering an email. Hang on.
Multitasking to the...
Girl, listen.
I know.
Okay, so I am... So first of all, what is mind-blowing to me, so you know how Brownstone Worldwide, it is something that we do, brownstoneworldwide.com, and if this is a shameless plug, let it be.
Plug it away.
We do news and information. That's what brownstoneworldwide.com is. It's a news website, content, lifestyle, all the things. And part of what I do throughout the day, outside of managing the magazine and the little team, shout out to my team, Sheena, Rakaya, Narenge, that is helping us to get the magazine covers done for the rest of the year and so forth. I love them. I appreciate them. Big shout out to you guys working right now. Just had to say that. But this is what we do. So when I provide the news, you should expect to get news. So throughout the day while I'm working, if I find out something, if someone sends me an inbox or something like that, then I stop what I'm doing. I write it down and I keep a list. So if you don't mind, I'm going to share how I keep my list. Yes, I'm a planner girl. Here is my tiny little book inside of my travel planner, where I make lists of the messages that are sent to me. Hey, can you look into this? Can you look into that? Okay. And so this is for today.
Yeah.
So when I do the research and I dig deep and I cite different sources and go and read those, and then I go and then I compile it together, people get angry and they're pissed off when I share the content. Like, it is mind blowing to me.
Like, what are the comments that you're reading though about it? Like, are they telling you that you're lying or?
Yes, it is. Girl, yes, you're fucking lying. It's a lie. I have to delete some of the comments. That's how bad it gets.
Girl,
you're a liar. You can't. This is not really what's happening. And here's what's really interesting. These are people that aren't even MAGA. They're not. It's like you're scared. Oh, wait. Here's one that really.
Okay, go ahead.
Because you're not gonna believe this. You ready? I have to do this, and that's why I asked you to please talk about this, because I'm so over it. And I get your faith and all of that, but here's the thing: I don't believe that we were intended ever to be idiots.
This is before you go on. This is what I will say. And I'm going to get the name of this creator because I hate referring to this creator I saw on TikTok, and then I just never know who that person is. Oh, wait. Whoops. No, skip that. That's a lot of noise. Sorry. Okay. So this creator, her name, nope, wrong one. Dang it. I thought I was so organized too. Look at this. Her name is, she goes under Twitchy Witch is her handle. But she has like a master's degree in the occult and all of these things, right? Anyway, she's also very well versed in biblical studies and theology and things like that. Anyway, what she says is that what's happening right now, because a lot of people have been like, it's a spiritual war, it's a cultural war, it's whatever. And she's like, no, it's none of those things. It's none of those things.
No.
What this is a genocide on critical thinking. A genocide on critical thinking, because they're trying to tell you what you saw you didn't see, what you heard you didn't hear.
Yes.
And by obscuring the media or even like government sources, right? Like we used to like, okay, for the news, we report on, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, for instance,
Right.
comes out with like the jobs numbers, right? And we take that big national number and we boil it down to the local level. Well, now that these agencies have been gutted, we can't really trust any of the information that's coming out of them. And so that's what it is. It's a genocide against critical thinking and deductive reasoning.
My God. It is unbelievable. And maybe that's what I'm witnessing in my comments.
I would,
and the responses. Yes. Because so here's one, right? So where the hell does this come from? So I talked about, and I provided facts on what we're getting ready to talk about, and that's the government shutdown, right?
Yes.
What it is, and I did it in less than 9 minutes. So here's a response. When the 7th trumpet blows, it's only over for some of you guys. You will not be able to pray, repent, or hide. Once they blow, he will come. Jesus will ask everyone if they spread the gospel. He will know if you're lying or not. Spread the gospel before it's too late.
I'm sorry. What the hell does that have to do with the news about the shit? I'm sorry. What cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs?
Right, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Like, for real. No, there's more. What
the hell does that have to do with you delivering snippets of news with the backup? You have the receipts for it, right? Like,
yes.
I don't. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
Here's one. Here's another one.
Okay.
What the hell does that have to do with who you voted for?
Boy, what? What? I'm sorry. Okay, you know what?
It doesn't mean nothing to me because my God is an awesome God.
Oh, you know what?
How is this different from previous government shutdowns? You are such a liar.
Okay.
God is in control, not Trump.
First of all, the inconsistency of that state, the incongruency of that comment. It doesn't matter who you voted for. That doesn't have anything to do with it. My guy, what? The fuck? And then to be like, God is in charge? Shut up. Listen, it doesn't come to a surprise to you because we've talked about this. It might come to a surprise to some people who have never heard me really talk about this. I don't believe in God or Jesus. Okay? Jesus might have existed, but he was no more Christ-like than you and I. Period. I don't believe in a God who would punish people for being who he created them to be and then beg them to love him to get into fucking heaven. I'm sorry, what? No. Anyway, also, can we talk about the fact that women create everything and why are we praying to a male deity? Shut up. Anyway.
Hold on.
Oh, God. Are you going to... I just got a cocktail. I wish I would have known. I'm drinking water here, friend.
Ooh.
Okay.
That part, you just, yes. Okay.
So anyway, in case you didn't know, this is the Rivalry Report.
This is the Rivalry Report.
And today we are talking about why this 2025 shutdown is different.
Yes.
And the baseline of that is that MAGA holds the power. They hold the government, but they don't know how to govern.
No, they do not.
And so
this is a whole hot ass mess.
So, okay. So what's happening right now, in case you've been under a rock for the last, let's just say 48 hours. The US government has shut down. That means that aside from like super vital essential services, everything else has shut down. I'm looking at a page here on my screen over here from the Associated Press, and they have these are the 4 headlines. Federal shutdown cuts off economic data vital to policymakers and investors. Vote to end the government shutdown fails as Democrats hold firm on healthcare demands. And then there's some photo galleries about that show what the government shutdown looks like. And then national parks will remain generally open during the shutdown, but the Liberty Bell will be closed. Those are the headlines from the AP. And the Office of Management and Budget, which is run by Vaught, who is part of the authorship of Project 2025.
Project 2025. Yep.
He has instructed agencies to prepare for a reduction in force, which is for a shutdown and not a furlough, which means they might not be called back to work. Because a furlough is you're kind of like, it's like the same as a layoff, right? Like you could be called back in.
You could be, could not. Right.
Yeah. And so, and if you've been paying attention to any of the headlines, you'll see that Trump and the Republicans are being like, "Oh, Democrats caused this. Democrats caused this." And Politico has a quote saying, "Shutdown pain would be caused by Democrats."
Yeah.
You want to let them know the punchline on this, Paulette? What's the punchline on the Democrats being at fault for the shutdown?
Give me the punchline.
Republicans hold all the levers. They control the Oval and both houses of Congress.
There you go.
House of Representatives and the Senate. They don't need Democrats to pass a conciliation bill. They don't need one. They don't need a single Democrat to do it. The fact that they don't have the Republicans on board to do it, when I think it's more the they've been given instructions to not vote, because the Senate didn't even take a vote. The Senate was like, we don't want to, we're going home. They've been instructed not to take a vote so that then they can put the blame on the Democrats. And this is where the genocide on critical thinking and deductive reasoning comes in.
And let's dig into this part. So now one of the things that has been happening is on government websites, they have been posting so let me hang on just a second, because of course, I'm gonna pull up receipts, right?
Of course.
So yes, to your point, and I wanted you to just finish it because it sounded so much better coming from you. What the punchline is, honey, because ain't none of this punchline really. The radical left are going to shut down the government and inflict massive pain on the American people unless they get their $1.5 trillion wish list of demands. The Trump administration wants to keep the government open for the American people. If that were so, then they could have done it without the Dems. That's number one. So that's the part that is so confusing for me. And now the other part is that y'all went home, House Republicans. You went home and they had locked the doors initially.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Yes, they did. So they had already left, all of the House GOP.
Yep.
Gone for the day, and they weren't coming back. And so even the Democrats returned today, but initially the doors were locked when some of them returned. Yeah. So, and I thought, you got to be kidding me. So ultimately what that tells me is the Democrats showed up ready to convene and to negotiate. And the Republicans were like, nah, we out, deuces. We're going to shut it down. And you did exactly what you set out to do. And so here we are. I see you closing your eyes. I thought you all, honey, they on vacation. They are on break until the 7th of October.
That is exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, 6 days, right? Because I can add. So
first. Yes.
Yeah. I'm looking at the calendar over here like, how many days is that?
How many days is that? But see, here's the other thing that we have to remember. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put this out here because I know that it's going to come up and people are going to say stupid things. So let's talk about the times that there have been government shutdowns.
Please.
One in particular that is going to come up is Obama had a government shutdown during his presidency. He did, and it was for 19 days. Let's go ahead and put that out there. Yep. There was another, I forgot which administration it was. but it was for like 3 days, right?
Yep.
And then the last one was in 2020, I believe it was.
Yep.
That was the Trump administration, and that was for 35 days. I wanted to bring that up.
Oh, so okay. So presidential administration, sorry, I gave it a Google. Include Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Donald Trump. So 7.
Yes. So there were 7. So I was throwing those off the top of my head, but thank you for that. So the longest one was during the Trump administration, and that was 35 days. Okay.
And that was 2020.
That was 2020, I think. Yeah. So
I remember that because everybody's like, do we go back to the office? Can we go back to work? Are we still wearing masks? Are we staying at home?
What are we doing?
Shut down? Like, what's happening?
Exactly. Yeah. While he was saying, well, what if they just drink the bleach? But anyway, I needed to bring that up, number one, because I want you guys to understand. I can't speak for you, Heather, but I want you guys to understand that that was a different administration at that point, right? We're not talking about the same administration right now. This is different. The thought process is different. We're not ever going to say that the Heritage Foundation has not been a part of any presidency going back to the 80s under President Ronald Reagan, and they themselves have said that. We're not saying that. What we're saying is that there's more behind the scenes that we're not seeing, and that's even before we go through this list that has been compiled. But I just wanted to kind of point that out before we go any further. Yes, we know that government shutdowns happen, but baby, this is different.
It is different, and I think one of the primary ways is that they're gaslighting in the biggest, most fundamental way possible, right? It's any pain that anybody experiences because Democrats blocked whatever, right? So Trump is framing himself as the innocent, harmed party, which, if you recall from last week, MAGA loves to do this. They put themselves, they create a situation in which they can then cast themselves as the victim, even though they orchestrated it all. And they're really the only ones to blame. I like to use this phrase. I cannot take credit for it, but he is the very definition of a kid who kills their parents and cries they're an orphan.
My God. Woo!
That's facts. So he's billing himself, right, as the innocent, even though him and his Republican supporters, they created this impasse, right? This not going to do things. They're also, for the first time that I know of, as you just pointed out, and I think you read that notice, that was from HUD, right?
Yeah, that was from HUD.gov.
Yep, HUD.gov. They're using government websites to blame the radical left. That has never been done before.
Never.
Right? Never. Also, some of you may have seen there was a deep fake video created in which Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries were they were mocked by like wearing red capes and sombreros, as if I'm not sure about the point of this. To me, it just seems beyond juvenile, but again, the genocide against critical thinking and deductive reasoning. And then there have been it's kind of I think it's performative because we know they can't do it. They know they can't do it, and they're not going to do it. But they are threatening mass firings, layovers. That's fine. Layoffs, and the radical and the removal of agencies and personnel during the shutdown. Now they know they can't do that. The courts have consistently ruled that you can't do that. I think even the Supreme Court a few times has been like, yeah, you can't do that, right? But those threats, this is the rhetoric and the performative nature of all of this Can we just break this down to its most basic?
Please.
Release the Epstein files.
Period. I knew you were going to say that. This is
a smoke screen.
A snow job. Yeah.
For not releasing the Epstein files. If we are distracted and upset and looking at the HUD.gov website and any other government website and reading these crazy messages, that we're just going to forget about the Epstein files. Right. We're not forgetting about the Epstein files.
No. And here's something.
This is
a smoke screen.
Yes, and it's a show. All this gaslighting, all this fake blame, all this, it's release the Epstein files.
That's it. And we wouldn't have anything else to say. Now go ahead and release them, big brother. So here's the thing, and I wanted to kind of back up and go back to this again. For those of you all who are unaware, one party runs everything. Okay. So in the past, shutdowns happened because the two parties couldn't agree. This time, Republicans, like Heather said earlier, don't need Democratic votes, folks, but still can't pass a simple bill to keep the lights on. I don't understand. Okay.
I mean, we don't understand because we're logical people. We also believe in, I don't know, doing the right thing because that's your job.
It's your job. It is your job. And so what they're also doing, so Republicans are using tricks, like you said, right? Rescissions, canceling money that was already approved, threatening to make permanent cuts to programs like Medicaid. And you guys are already seeing it because open enrollment's already started. And ultimately what this is about, see, this is the BS. I want to cuss so bad. Can I cuss?
Do it.
This is the bullshit that they want folks to believe. This is what they want you to believe. So what the Democrats were trying to do was to extend the funding to the Affordable Care Act, right? So that regular Americans, business owners, and folks who have purchased their health care, like myself,
and
through the ACA, yes, and like you, through the ACA, won't have exorbitant fees attributed to their health care. Let me break this down, y'all. Let me tell y'all a lie that they told. Schumer and Jeffries are in a meeting. First of all, with Trump and with Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson goes in the middle of this, hey, can we, we don't want to even talk about that. No, we're not going to approve it because we don't want illegals to get Medicaid. Let's stop the lie right now. Undocumented immigrants cannot get Medicaid.
They cannot. Now, where they can get some form of Medicaid is when they go to the hospital because hospitals treat everybody. So they go to the ER. But guess what happens when they can't pay that bill or they get the full cost of the bill? Guess who gets that cost passed down to them? Everyone raise your hand. We all end up paying. All of us. Go ahead. Sorry.
But and thank you for pointing that out. And so when Schumer said to Mike Johnson, now this came from Chuck Schumer, this didn't come from me. When Schumer said to Mike Johnson, you know that that's a lie. And he said, that's a lie and you know it. And so Mike Johnson smirks. What I want you all to understand is that they know full hell well that they're selling you a bill of goods and a room full of bullshit in a trough is what they're doing. And you're falling for it hook, line, and sinker. And all they're doing is continuing to reduce the amount of critical thinking skills, cells that you have left in your brain. I hate to say it like that. And you go online and it becomes, that's a lie. And then people like me get cursed out in the comments when we're providing to you information that is necessary. And then it becomes, we don't want the illegals to have that, but it's okay for multi-billion-dollar corporations to continue to not pay your ass a living wage. And you're still trying to figure out how A and B are going to equal C in your household. And they're just waving at each other. It's never going to work because the math ain't mathing, right? And so you're literally doing their job for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't have to work hard to convince you when you're so easily convinced.
Yeah.
And so the reason, okay. As we know, Republicans control the White House and both houses of Congress, House of Representatives and the Senate. They don't need Democrats to pass this.
No.
They would like Democrats on board. And And so what they've been threatening is, Paulette mentioned a couple of them. One is canceling money that's already been authorized, not just freezing it and not letting it go, but just canceling it altogether. So
Right.
I'm using round numbers here. These are not accurate. These are not correct. But let's just say $10 billion to schools. We'll just use that, right?
Yeah.
Now they're talking about, well, we're going to take that money away from schools and we're not going to release it ever. We're going to allocate it somewhere else if you don't sign on to this continuing resolution. They are saying they're going to make irreversible cuts. So the cuts to Medicaid, health subsidies, even the PAYGO provision, which is when certain other cuts are made, then cuts start being made to Medicare, that they're it turns, I'm trying to think how to phrase this. So where the shutdown right now, and it's what, 18 hours old?
Yeah.
The shutdown's 18 hours old. So right now what we're dealing with is a funding gap, right? Because it's 18 hours old. Yeah. But what Republicans are trying to jam through or make a consequence of Democrats not coming to the table in the way Republicans want them to. Let's be clear, Democrats are at the table, but they are not at the table the way the Republicans and MAGA want them there.
Right.
So what that does then is it turns what is right now a funding gap into policy. Yeah. And that is that is like a Grand Canyon size shift. Yeah. That is hugely important. And I'm just, I'm going to speak on a personal level here. I get the ACA credit to help me pay for my health insurance.
Same here.
If I didn't have it, my health insurance would be $800 a month. There is no way I can afford that. Yeah. There's no way I can afford that. So I rely on the credit to bring my medical insurance down to like, I don't know, like 120, 125 a month, something like that.
Yeah, mine's 111.
Yeah. So we're right. And I have a bronze level plan, which is like,
me too.
Not great. Yeah. My deductible is like $8,900. Yeah. And so what's happening is because I am a relatively healthy person, I don't have any chronic illnesses. I don't have diabetes or high blood pressure or anything like that. I'm considered a relatively healthy person. And then we have plenty of other entrepreneurs or people who work for small businesses where they don't offer health insurance, right? Who are relying on this as well. They're also younger. They're in generally good health. What that means is we're going to be dropping our health insurance. We're just not going to do it anymore.
We're just not.
And so then that leaves the I don't know the right term to use without it sounding horrible. Like the sicker people, the people who are in not as great health there. Okay.
Right.
That leaves them on the insurance roll on those plans. And then that jacks up prices for everybody else.
Yeah.
And not just for people who are on ACA plans. It jacks up prices for everybody. For large, medium, and small businesses who offer insurance to their employees. Yes. It's going to jack your rates all the way up.
And they're saying to the tune, I was reading yesterday, to the tune of 114% increase.
Oh my God, what?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So here's the other issue, is unfortunately because of that hike in price, open enrollment letters have already started going out. Right. So some companies' open enrollment started last week.
Yeah.
And so unfortunately, because of that, when employees go to log in to do the thing, then of course you'll see that information and you're going to go, what the hell? This is the same program I had last year. What am I supposed to do? So therein lies that.
Yeah. And when you think about everything else is going up, I'm not going to use gas prices because for the last time, presidents don't control the price of gas.
Thank you.
That is completely market driven.
Yeah.
But what the president and Congress can control to a certain degree, not a huge degree, but a certain degree, is the rising prices of every other damn thing.
Right.
Because tariffs are an issue. There's a company in Racine that it pays overtime like on a general basis. Like there are people there who make way above their normal pay because the company needs them to do overtime a lot.
Right.
And now they've cut overtime. Want to know why?
The cost of tariffs, no doubt.
Tariffs, yes, Frank, tariffs. Right? So that impacts the amount of money people are bringing home. It raises the prices of everything. So then when you add healthcare on top of that, like, I'm sorry, how is that a good thing? Well, I mean, listen, I don't think the Democrats are the answer here. No, I'm not trying to say that. They sold out to corporate interests a long ass time ago.
Yes, they did.
I'm not trying to say they're the answer here, but you know what they are right now, and I hate it? They are the best bet for next year.
Yep.
That's just it.
I mean, it's just, but you're telling the truth at this point because we're watching this in real time.
Yeah.
Everything that is currently happening, and how I'm even going to put this in your ear. I don't know if you've heard about it in the middle of this shutdown, and with the knowledge of the Affordable Care Act and the increase that so many people are getting ready to see. Your homeboy.
Okay, first of all,
what? He is not my homeboy. He is not my homeboy. I don't even want to say his name. It's just so.
Just use the initials.
Disheartening. DJT.
Okay.
Released.
He's like Voldemort now. He who shall not be named.
He who shall not be named. Released Trump RX.
I'm sorry, what the hell is that?
Oh, girl, you ain't heard.
I'm gonna give it a Google. Do I want to Google this?
Oh my God, today.
Enough.
Yeah.
What is this? A deal with what?
Mm-hmm. Think it's a game.
They are not. Okay, I'm just gonna let y'all know. I'm looking at a screen over here. I'm looking at Google. This is exactly what it says. President Trump on Tuesday announced a deal with Pfizer to sell its drugs directly to consumers at discounted prices. They'll be available through a website operated by the federal government called TrumpRx.gov. He said similar deals with other drug makers are in the works. I'm sorry. In what universe is that not going to go wrong?
Say you want to compete with Obamacare without saying that you want to compete with Obamacare.
That part. But also, can we?
I thought you heard about that, girl.
No, ma'am. I have been. Okay, listen. Racine County, I moved into a new office, and we got furniture and crap delivered yesterday, and so it was like, make sure the site has content. Move furniture. Make sure the site has content. Move furniture. I had time to look at like what else is going on in the world.
Yeah. I'm so. Yeah. I know. And that's exactly how I felt when I looked at it yesterday myself. And it crossed my mind as we were talking about the cost of medicine and healthcare, because this is very, very suspect and strategic, is it not?
Well, this is what I think. I think it's just a perpetuation of the great American grift that is the Trump administration.
And like, it's just like, what are we doing? And I couldn't do anything except put my head down and go, see, this is we told y'all, but I didn't know. And I just thought to myself, while we're watching him with Trump 2028 on his desk in the Oval Office, and Hakeem Jeffries and JD Vance there and all of that, and ain't nobody saying a damn thing. We just going on along with it. And I'm sitting here and I'm going, Trump RX? That's like Trump steaks. That's like Trump water. You know what I mean? That's like Trump Airlines.
That's
some
what
of y'all
saying, like,
that after a while. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what I am very rarely stunned speechless.
Right.
But my point is, how does anyone think that this is not going to directly line the pockets of Trump and his family?
Bingo.
And or the various minions that he has amongst the filth that walk around the West Wing.
But then let's talk about this. Pfizer?
Yeah, Pfizer.
Pfizer, like, I'm disgusted just from the fact that it's Pfizer. I'm not saying that Pfizer is all great and wonderful and all of that, but y'all made a deal. It's like, oh, it's so much going on in my head right now. Like the song.
Well, I think what we need to remember, and not all of them, because there's somebody on social media somewhere, I've seen it, where he like outlines companies that like either support Republicans or go more Democratic and progressive, right? Like he does a list. Mm-hmm. But in so many cases, like Big Pharma as MAGA, that doesn't shock me.
It doesn't. But
that part of the deal doesn't shock me. What shocks me is that, well, okay, I'm just going to say it. Clearly, I have a failure of imagination because I could never conceive of all the ways that their bullshit just keeps getting deeper and smellier.
Yeah. Now what they're saying now, you got to remember this now. Mark Cuban actually has a discount prescription drug website. And from what I understand, I think is it GoodRx? I think it is. It could be.
I don't know. I'm going to give it to you right now.
So no, he's Cost Plus Drugs. I think.
Yeah, Cost Plus Drugs. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I do know people that use either GoodRx or Cost Plus Drugs, right? Mm-hmm. And they rave about them. But this thing, so TrumpRx.gov is literally it's direct to consumers, and it is supposed to be this wonderful, great thing. But like you said, my concern is how is this going to impact who's running it? But then also, from what I'm understanding from the news that I was reading today, in order for you to utilize it, you have to give all of your health information. Like, yeah. Like, you can't just come in here with your doctor's prescription and be like,
there it is,
acetaminophen or whatever. I need all.
And there we have it. And there we have the basis for the extenuation of this grift from the Trump administration, because they're going to feed all that information into Planeteer, which is Peter Thiel's thing, right? They're going to do that so that they can track you, monitor you, send you crap, control what you see on social media, like all of that, right?
Absolutely.
And so, and I said that I really hate the fact that our hopes are resting solely on Democrats right now. But the reason why Democrats' responses matter, like right now, and the reason why this feeds into why this shutdown is so different, is because Democrats right now and the independents in Congress are the only ones fighting to get the ACA subsidies, the ones we were talking about that help us pay our health insurance, and the Medicaid cuts have to be under negotiation, not pushed to the side for later, which we know later never happens, right?
It never happens.
And right now, the PR machine, I don't have a better phrase for it, so that's what we're using.
Because that's what it is.
The PR machine for the Democrats in particular is weak.
Very.
Their PR game is.
They look like wusses. They look like big. Right now, the Dems, and I'm just going to name some that we're hearing their names a lot in the news right now. Jasmine Crockett, she's the loudmouth, right? We got AOC, we have Bernie Sanders, we have Hakeem Jeffries, we have Cory Booker, we have Chuck Schumer, we have
we don't. Okay, first of all, can we just be clear about Chuck Schumer?
Yeah,
he's not one of the loudmouths. It took him a really he. Anyway, go on.
No, say what you're going to say. Go ahead.
I think that he is full of shit. I think Hakeem Jeffries is full of shit.
Absolutely.
I think they are.
Cory Booker, go ahead and put him on there too.
Yeah. Well, and who?
Corey.
And Cory Booker, they're all weak. They're weak.
Yeah.
I don't know where they suddenly found their spine.
I don't even think it's a spine. It's a bunch of lip. It's a bunch of lip service. So
you're right. It's like they're the mannequin. They're just being held up with some
right. And what they're being held up with is AIPAC money. Oh, I said that. Let me put that back in my mind.
You did. But the reason why I bring up the PR game for the Democrats is despite the fact that Republicans literally hold all the cards, right? They hold all the cards about the shutdown. The Democrats do risk being painted as obstructionists. And because the ground game for MAGA is so strong, right? Yeah. Like they have a machine that is constantly in motion. And Democrats right now, from where I'm sitting and what I see, is they're constantly playing catch up through reactionary as opposed to
it's disgusting
being proactive, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And but I also think we need to remember that when you have an opponent like MAGA, your leverage is constricted because MAGA is more committed to spectacle than sound policy. And so
but it's working.
Democrat responses really do matter. And people, okay. I'm sick of milquetoast responses.
Come on.
I don't want them to say, we tried to negotiate in good faith, blah, 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 right? I want them to come out and be like, we went in there with a list of demands. They control everything. We couldn't get them to talk. We're SOL.
Right.
And when it shuts down, it's their fault.
It's their fault. And they're not saying that.
They're not saying that enough because what they're saying is, well, we tried to negotiate. Hopefully we'll bring back to the table, blah, blah, blah. No, you need to say this shutdown is Trump and the Republicans' fault. They are to blame because they control it all. Yeah. They don't need us to pass a conciliation resolution.
No.
They don't need us to pass that. They can do it on their own. They don't need us. So all this showboating, all this spectacle that they're creating is not of our making, and we have no part of it.
So then we know that. So listen, now all of a sudden, for any one of you all who is sitting here and you're hearing this, and we're not making this up, folks, this is a fact. Remember, because this goes all the way back to our very first class together class, and that was civics. And we talked about the branches of government, and we understand who controls everything. So if we know, listen closely, put your thinking caps on, babies. Go get your little aluminum foil and shape it into a little dunce hat if that's what you need to do. However, if we are literally using if we are literally using our brains right now, and they have literally created, listen to what I just said, they have created with the PR machine that these far left folks are just all the way, or the whatever number, if they left, right, in the middle, whatever. Oh my God, we gotta shut down because the Dems aren't doing what we wanted to do. And we all just sat here and we said what we know to be true because we took the civics class through the Rivalry report, right?
Yep.
Doesn't this sound like a setup?
Say that again.
So the question is, doesn't this sound like a setup for something else?
I hate it when the generation does this. Like, that annoys me. They're doing this instead of clapping or snapping. They do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I digress. It is a setup. It is a setup of the most basic design. And so many, and I'm going to quote my Congresswoman, Gwen Moore from Milwaukee. Y'all are falling for the okie doke.
Falling for it.
You're falling for the okie doke.
Yep. And we ain't talking about popcorn.
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, that's really tasty.
I mean, but it's because sit back and think about that. So now we don't run anything, but yet it's still y'all trying to tell us it's our fault. Yeah, I said y'all trying to tell us it's our fault. When in reality, you running it, but you trying to make it our fault. And then you have these folks who are on social media and your little trolls and those bots, and they're out there and they're saying the things, and then you're putting it all on social media. And not only that, you're making these dumb memes, and then you put it on government websites. And then you don't even show up.
Nope. Because isn't that the classic move of gaslighting?
That's exactly what it is.
It is a classic move of gaslighting. I'm going to tell you that what you know to be true is not true. Yep. And then I'm not even going to show up so that you have to stew now in the uncertainty that I have now introduced for you.
Oh my God, today. And you're trying to figure out what I did wrong this whole time.
Yeah. And and now, again, we're not trying to say Democrats are the answer or they're innocent in all this. They're not on both fronts.
No.
But what we're facing, okay, in the short term, things are going to be bad enough. Our military won't get paid.
Yep.
They're not going to get paid. People who expected to report for work today didn't go to work. And if they're hourly, they're not getting paid.
Right.
Even the salaried people, their money stops. It'll catch up once the government reopens, but right now it stops.
And let's also talk about this. Those folks that are in places like Portland and Chicago and even in DC, they're not getting paid either. That stopped today too. Okay, carry on. I'm sorry. Just wanted to point that out.
I appreciate that because that is a very fine point indeed.
Yeah.
But then there's service disruptions. So if you are a veteran, you had to go to the VA to get care, every chance your hospital or your clinic's not going to be open.
Right.
And, I don't think we can discount the rising public anger.
Yeah.
I don't think we can discount that. Now, that's in the short term. In the long term, things get way worse, right? Because now we're looking at increased institutional damage.
Yes.
So not just like not getting paid in the short term, not getting the care in the short term, but like, not getting your cancer treatment, not getting your paycheck, not being able to buy groceries for your family. And then you think, well, then I could maybe go apply for assistance, but you can't because with the federal government shutdown, that assistance doesn't come through either.
Exactly.
So then it can weaken agencies. And it honestly, the longer this goes, now remember, there have only been 7 presidents under which shutdowns have happened.
Yeah.
But the longer this goes with Republicans at the helm of it all,
yes,
the more we risk shutdowns kind of being the precedent, right? Like becoming the norm.
Yep.
And that is not good governance, which brings us back to our first
main topic.
And that is that MAGA has the government, but they don't know how to govern.
No. And they're not trying to, though.
There's that part too.
Yeah, they're not trying to. What they want to make sure that they do, and I'm going to go ahead and pull this up if you don't mind. But see, I want to go on ahead and I want to just take a look at where we currently are when it comes to the progress of Project 2025. And I want
yes, there is a progress report, everyone. And I'll make sure I put that in the show notes for other people to check it as well.
Absolutely. So I'm on the website right now, and I do like to look at it. We are currently at 48% complete of Project 2025. Y'all, there were
We are 48% complete. We are only 8 months into this administration.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there's a total number of objectives right now that are being tracked. It's 318. I want y'all to hear me on this. We are literally 1,206 days, 17 hours, 21 minutes, and 33, 32, 31, 30 seconds away from the end of this particular term. Now, what I want you all to understand is that it literally breaks this down. And the last thing that was completed was freeze allocation of resources, foreign aid disbursements, and hiring and recruiting decisions.
Yep.
That was done on September 26th. Reverse the Inflation Reduction Act's expansion of the IRS was done on September 16th. Why is this important? Because in order for them to get some of the other things done that they need to get done, a nice little pause won't hurt.
And can I just say again, and we are actually going to talk about this in an episode.
Yeah.
But when you cut the IRS, you might think, whew, get a little break on not getting my taxes and stuff like that. But here's
about it, please. Yes, go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. So here's why it's super duper important.
Yeah.
When you cut the IRS, you're not just like people losing their jobs, right? So now these people have to find new jobs. That sucks. Number two, these are often experienced career professionals who carry with them a lot of institutional knowledge, which is invaluable.
Yes.
Invaluable. And the third thing that I will say about it, and this is dollars and cents. Dollars and cents. You can use cents in a few different ways.
Right.
When you don't have the regulatory investigators, enforcement, and that sort of thing, companies and individuals who owe big money, and I heard a figure, it's like, I think over 10 years, it could $600 billion.
It's a lot of money.
Could be collected if the IRS was fully funded and staffed to go after the people who actually owe the money. Yeah. And trust me, I've been audited. I was audited 3 years in a row back when our tax return was like 2 pages. They decided they were one year they were just like, we're going to audit all the people who claim the child care credit. And so we got audited, and then we got audited again in the next 2 years to be sure we were still like our kids were the same. It's not people like Paulette and I who are ripping off the government.
Yeah. Talk about it.
It's not us. We're like, okay, I will say I'm very late on doing my taxes, but I give my accountant everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything. I there's no hiding. I don't have things to I wouldn't even know how.
No, I wouldn't know how to do that. Like I'd be too scared.
I mean, do you want the $12 I spend at the taco truck every once in a while down the street? Like, come on.
Right, exactly.
You know, exactly. But that's what I mean. Like when you cut the IRS, you are hamstringing the government to bring in the revenue that makes government possible.
Yes.
That's what makes it possible. And so now, and I'll just use a very real world example of what we're dealing with right now. Farmers who in large numbers voted for this administration, they are hurting. Farms are shutting down at numbers we can't even keep up with. Farms are shutting down because of tariffs. Because China, okay, I'm going to use it here. Soybeans.
Come on, talk about the soybeans. Come on, girl. Yes.
America was like the number 1 or number 2 exporter of soybeans to China. Trump was like, we're going to put a tariff on it. Guess where China gets their soybeans now?
Argentina.
Not from here.
Yeah.
Where?
I think it's Argentina.
It is Argentina.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, here in Wisconsin, this might shock some of you because I didn't believe it at first. I had to look it up. Guess what Wisconsin is the number 1 producer of in the world?
Girl, don't tell me soybean.
Ginseng.
What?
Ginseng. We are the #1 producer of ginseng in the world. And guess who our #1 customer is?
China.
Oh. Yeah. Now, I'm gonna admit that I haven't looked up like what the like current state of that situation is. I didn't expect to actually talk about it today, so I don't have that fact at my
I mean, that's good information. I thought it was cheese.
No,
Glorious cheese.
No, I mean we compete with California because California says they have happier cows, but that's a lie. But anyway, but because of these, and I think that that's where people don't really understand is that if we like, I think the world has always lived in a world economy, right? Yeah. We've had the Silk Road, which was a trade route from through Europe, through, well, what is Europe now? Even though technically I found out that it's all Asia. Europe is not its own continent. It's just white people didn't want to be associated with Asian people. Anywho, I'm just saying that's what happened. So Europe is not really a continent. It's part of Asia. Anyway, but the Silk Road went down in like through India and into China, right? Like that's what it did. So, and then we had trade routes up from, the African continent through the Mediterranean, up through the English Channel into Scandinavia. Like people were always going everywhere, right?
Yeah.
But what we have now is a world economy that's built on super speed, right? Like it's super duper fast because we have online businesses like you and I have we have online businesses. And then, but you also have, small product creators who could, I guess theoretically they could ship anywhere, but a lot of them source their ingredients. Like Serene Herbs is a Black-owned company that is very much about like gut health and regulation and all this sort of thing. But they source their ingredients to make their stuff from Asia.
Yeah.
Right. So these tariffs are really, really hurting. So you have, I forget even where my point was started.
And I'm still following you because it has everything to do with Project 2025 and how we are losing.
Yes, because they want nationalism. And there's a difference between nationalism and patriotism. And they're conflating the two. And because, again, we're in a genocide against critical thinking and deductive reasoning, people are falling for that shit.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate because they're falling in mass numbers. Because, again, I've said this before and I'll say it again. They think most people who are falling for this literally believe in their minds that we're living in a WWE match and it's ongoing. And so you're wrong, you're this and you're that. And you're thinking, that you are these folks that are jumping in the ring and you're excited for that until the leopard begins to eat your face. And here's my concern, especially now with what is happening with the shutdown and understanding more about Project 2025 and how close they are to moving some of these things in position. Because again, I said it's at 48%. And I need you all to understand some of the things that are happening in the White House, literally with them being in the power that they're currently in. A lot of things that none of these things do they need Democratic approval or a vote for. So I need you all to understand how important and scary this time is. We're not here to fearmonger you. We're here to make sure that you are fully aware of what is happening so that you can think. That's really what the Rivalry Report is about. And I think that making this a priority, because we don't have to, Heather, that look on your face.
So I'm sorry. Just out of curiosity, because, we always hear about Obama this and Obama that and whatever, right? So just out of curiosity, I looked up like what year was the Obama shutdown? Okay. It was 2013. And the Republicans held the House. So it wasn't like Democrats all party held all three, like is happening now with the Republicans. That's not that's not what happened.
Right.
I just wanted to look that up because suddenly I was very curious about that. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. I think that that's important because I think some of the nasty comments have been This isn't the first time that this has happened. It happened during the Obama administration. This happened during XYZ. And I think because I'm a Black woman, they automatically assume that I am pro everything that this man did, or I'm pro Kamala and all that, which I am, but with reason. So I think that needed to be said, and it needed to be clarified so that people understand that the Republicans held it then. And
but the point is that I really wanted to make is that they didn't shut down. The government didn't shut down in 2013 under Obama because all the Democrats wanted to play.
No, right.
They wanted to play games. It was because negotiations broke down, and then negotiations started again. That's governance. So that's why this is not just another shutdown.
Not the same. This was purposely done. Yeah.
This is a test of what governing means when your side holds all the power, but treats governance as a performance and not policy.
Yep. And the hard part is throughout all of this, what's going to end up happening is people are going to get hurt. People
are already getting hurt.
Yeah. And they don't want to talk about it, but it's the truth. People are going to get hurt. People are going to lose things. They're all, like you said, farmers are losing, farms are being foreclosed on. It's a lot I could say about that, but I'm just going to hold up my little handy dandy. I'm not even going to play it, but there it is for that, because y'all voted for this, but here we are. And I'm, just let me get my little bow. We just gonna, but this is what you voted for, and you have what you voted for, and your subsidies are gone. But that's another thing, because he told you he was going to do that, but here we are. But
he said all the quiet parts out loud.
Yes, he
didn't believe him. But here's the thing. So last week, Wisconsin Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez visited. She's touring all the counties as part of her campaign to be governor.
Yeah.
And one of the things she said was, we shouldn't tell people you voted for this. This is fuck around and find out, right? Instead, what you should be saying is, I'm so sorry they lied to you.
It's the same damn thing.
But it's not, though. You know the difference.
I do. But let me just say this.
It's semantics, but
it is semantics. But can I keep it 100 with you?
Always.
In all of this, and I will. But in all of this, there is no way in hell we should not be telling people that you fucked around and fine. We should be okay telling people that, because number one, you knew. He said it, like you said. He said he said it out loud. He didn't lie, not one time. He told you what he was going to do. He told you that he was going to run for a third term. He told you that he was going to put the military in your communities. He told you, and you all thought he was joking at those podiums. Some of us believed him, and we knew he was not fucking around. So now here we are. I cannot coddle your emotions and your feelings while you lose things, because you thought that it wouldn't impact you. That's what you thought.
It's a good point.
Period.
It's a good point.
I don't want to play semantics, because we told you.
We did.
Okay, let me stop. I apologize.
We did say it that okay, so here's the thing. I don't think you're wrong about being insistent that we say the truth, right?
Yeah.
I do try to be kind, right? There's a difference between being nice and being kind. I do try to be kind. I've stopped being nice for the most part. And because nice is performative. Nice is people pleasing. Kind is acting from a stance of moral certainty, right? Right and wrong. I think what we need to remember, and you and I say that line a lot when we do this, but for real, more people did not vote for Trump than did vote for him. And I think that that's necessary to point out, because while elections have consequences,
yes, they do.
I firmly believe that we get the government we deserve.
Mm.
And I say that with all due respect to the 92%.
Yeah.
But I say that because too many people, and I have my head down because I really want to get this right? Like, I'm not trying to avoid eye contact.
No problem. Do it.
I just really, we need to remember that more people did not vote for Trump than did vote for him.
Mm-hmm.
But of the people who did not vote for him, too many were like, we're voting third party. We're voting for these obscure candidates that made it on the ballot, whatever, right? And I had a conversation with someone back when we thought Biden was still running. And she was like, I don't know if I can vote for him again. Like,
Jesus.
Biden hasn't been all that. I don't know. I might not vote. And I said to this person, I said, did you not hear what Trump said? She's like, what? And I said, he said, if you vote for him, you'll never have to vote again.
Have to vote again. And he meant that.
He says these things out loud. And here's the thing that I need people to really understand is when people show you who they are, you have to believe them.
Come on now.
And he has shown time and time again who he is.
Yeah.
And yet the mental gymnastics that some of y'all go through to justify what he says or rationalize what he says or apply logic that just isn't logicking, it's worrisome. And so that's why it's really important that we keep in mind that what this administration is really trying to do is end critical thinking and deductive reasoning. Because when they can get us to question everything, so here's, when you repeat a lie, it's not so people believe the lie. It's so that people don't ever believe the truth.
Which takes us back to class number 2.
Right. That's class number 2, which is, what is it? Toma.
Top of mind awareness. If you say it enough, long enough, you'll believe it.
Yes, that. So all of that to say, MAGA is pushing this shutdown. They're talking out one side of their neck saying this is a failure of Democrats. But what they're not saying super loud out of the other side of their neck is that the shutdown's not failure. It's not a failure on our part. It's always going to be an option. Mm-hmm. And we will drag it out as long as possible to get what we want. Even though we're in control of everything already. And we don't actually need you to get it done, right?
Period. Yep.
And so the real question then becomes, when you control all the levers, right? You have the White House flip, you have the House flip, you have the Senate flip. Are you actually building, or are you just tearing shit down?
And if you control it all,
for the sake of tearing shit down.
Yes, for the sake of it. But I don't think it's for the sake of tearing shit down. There is a strategy. Let me say this very clear. While we are over here playing damn checkers, baby, they playing master's chess. Yes. Not for 1 minute do I ever think that this is not a strategy of theirs. For no one to show up and for them to have the doors locked initially so that no one could get in and none of them were there, that's strategy. So what's behind your strategy? You don't just do something like that without having another plan of action in position.
Yeah.
Believe that. So the question is if you control everything and you still pull this, and at the same time you play these mental gymnastics with folks and create this narcissistic environment, what is behind what you're doing? And that is the question that we all need to be asking, which made me pull up Project 2025. I want to see what's next on the list. And then I also need to see why in hell during the middle of the shutdown, we're talking about the ACA, did we find out about Trump RX? And then how is it in the middle of all of this, we got Pete Hegseth, old Petey boy over here, you and Big Dog over here, we're going to call him Wig, and his cabinet of combs sitting around, and you're talking about the enemy is within. He's talking about the American people.
That is a subject for another day, friend.
Child.
I actually thought you were going to put your hood up and tie and
baby, I want to, but I have this bun on top of my head. But are you following what I'm saying? Like,
I get what you're saying, because again, it's gaslighting, right? Yes. They spend millions of dollars to call 800 military leaders to the Pentagon.
And not just millions of your tax dollars, baby.
Millions of our tax dollars, not included in a budget anywhere. Just, we're going to write those checks, right? They spent 800 million of our dollars and basically said, first of all, they were fat shamed. You guys are fat, and that's not okay. Secondly, they were told, we're going to use you against the American people.
That's what they said.
And third, that Democrats and blue states are to blame for all of America's woes. And the only way to fix it is to send the military in. And we're going to use you to point guns and threaten your fellow American citizens. Now, those military brass, I have to give it to them. That,
oh my God,
master. I don't think I could have done it because my face talks even when I don't. Like, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
But I just was sitting there looking at Pete Hegseth, and I'm like, how does this panty waist, to use an old-fashioned term, who has never served a day in its fucking life,
neither one of them,
talk to people who are highly trained soldiers, who many of whom in that audience, probably all of them, have seen combat.
Yes.
Because you don't get promoted up the line to general if you haven't had your ass on the line.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. What the fuck now?
Right.
And if you need to look up panty waist, please do. Give it a Google. Let your fingers walk across the internet and learn a new great. That's a great word. We don't use it enough, but that's what
we don't use it enough.
Is a panty waist.
I am so, but I want us to pay attention to all of the things, right? And in the middle of all of this, what are we not talking about?
What do you mean?
We're not talking about the Epstein files.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What else are we not talking about? We aren't talking enough about the young man that Tyler. We're not talking about the young man that supposedly, allegedly took CK's life. We're and there's so many things happening with that. That's another topic for another day. But we're not talking.
But this again is all about not releasing the Epstein files, and I would be willing to bet you really good money that I don't have that Hegseth is on that list.
I think a bunch of them are.
Yeah, I think, and the thing is that let's not forget too what happened just a couple days ago. A top DOJ official was caught on a hot mic saying that they were going to release the files after they scrubbed all the Republican names out of it.
Damn.
Yep.
I cannot with this administration. I'm
All right. So this has been another edition of the Rivalry Report.
Another edition of the Rivalry Report.
Thank you for joining us. Good evening, morning, afternoon, whenever you see this.
Whenever you see this.
And next week, join us for a topic that we don't know what it is yet.
Yeah.
We might talk about, unless, I hate to say this because I feel like every week it's some banana pants nonsense, right? Like, but we did have a schedule.
We did.
a whole list of topics. We were like, okay, we're
And
going to
then
start with civics, and then we're going to go into this, and then then Paulette gets
we
all these
can't.
comments in her, she gets all these comments, and she was like, we got to talk about this. I was like, yeah, we do.
We
Let's
have
talk about it.
to. It's because I think ultimately, before we wrap, ultimately the rivalry report is really exactly what it is. It is to give us a space to, first of all, educate ourselves or re-educate ourselves on basic civics, but then also to be able to apply critical thinking skills that you're learning through these re-education classes that are being offered, and use your critical thinking skills on what is currently happening right now. Because y'all, this is basic civics, but we're watching a circus be created in the meantime, and we need to call it for what it is. It's a shit show.
It is a shit show trying to be stuffed inside a dumpster fire.
Right. Oh God damn. And it's just exploding all over the damn place.
Shit show. Somebody opens the dumpster and notices there's a dumpster fire, but they're like, fuck it, we're gonna put it in there anyway.
We're just gonna put it in here anyway. And that's where we currently are. And all we want you to do, we're not saying be left or right or whatever, because honestly, I'm for right. But I also know wrong when I see it. And I like to, I want to make sure that people are able to have the right information to make decisions for themselves, whichever line of the aisle you want to be on. That's all.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
So that's it.
It's I think we also need to remember that there are definitely more good people than bad in this world.
Yes, there are.
And in this country, especially, there are more of us who want to help take care of each other than there aren't.
Yes.
And, it is, it's about how are we going to care for each other?
Right.
And because what's happening at this top level in Washington is not really indicative of what's happening on the ground.
Right.
Most of us have giant and generous hearts for our families, for our neighbors, our friends, our extended friends and family online who maybe we never meet face to face, Right. But those connections are real. And I just think we really need to remember that while this shutdown is a manufactured crisis of the Republicans making, again, another distraction from releasing the Epstein files. I'm just saying. But I think we need to remember that it's up to us to care for each other on the ground level here, because that's really the only way that we're going to be able to combat what's happening in Washington from poisoning our communities.
Yes.
That's it. That's it.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, good afternoon, evening, good night, everyone. Morning, whenever you see this. And thank you for joining us. And we will see you next week.
We'll see you another time.